sound.
Oh, there we go.
Now recording.
Yeah.
They didn't catch that, did it?
Is that? I don't know. Probably not.
I don't think so.
I have some cheese and Dr. Pepper and cream soda.
That's a
This
choice.
is my life now.
What kind of cheese?
It's definitely. It is actually. It was on sale. It is Havarti with dill in it, which probably sounds disgusting to a lot of people.
I've never tried it, so.
Havarti's like really good cheese. Like it's creamy, like smoky, creamy kind of cheese. But a lot of people don't like dill, from what I've been told. But I'm Greek as fuck, so I live for dill.
It is true. They do.
Yeah, so I'm literally just eating this off the block.
Nice.
I think I've had Havarti before. I just can't.
You probably did.
Put it into my mind what it tastes like. Although I don't like. I'm not a big fan of pickles. I know dill is not pickles, or is it pickles? I don't know.
Pickles have dill in them sometimes.
There we go. Yeah,
they're usually fermented in dill.
Right. All I know is that from Rugrats. But the point is, I've been adding dill lately to my chicken strips, like actual chickens, not breaded, like non-breaded chicken strips.
Oh, yeah.
I add that with a bit of garlic, and it's been okay. I'm not like I don't like that kind of flavor all the time, but adding a little bit can sometimes provide a zest that my life needs. Yeah, I can't remember what Havarti tastes like. I'm sure I didn't hate it though.
I should try it sometime.
It's not a bad idea. Like, it's a mild cheese here. If you ever get the chance, just Havarti in general is pretty good. The best way, like to have it, is to get Havarti and smoked Gouda cheese and make them into mac and cheese, and it's fucking delicious.
That sounds really good. I love Gouda.
I wish I had the recipe on hand. Maybe that'll be another cooking gam segment at some point if I can find my recipe. But that shit is the bomb, and I'm gonna have high cholesterol if I ever eat it again. But yeah, this is my version of podcast PETA.
Nice.
It's a dang good version, man. You know what I had yesterday for lunch during my move?
What? You moved?
No, my uncle moved, and I hate it. And I'll talk about it. And I have so many things that are. Have you moved before, Gamma?
Too many times actually.
Good, because I think this is like his 17th move or something like that.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, but yeah. So for lunch from Tim Hortons, which I didn't ask for, but I got it anyways. I got their grilled cheese melt. I didn't know that the grilled cheese melt was. Well, I knew what it is because I used to get it for lunch when I was coming home from fitness, when I would see my girlfriend at work. And it's cheddar and mozzarella melted on like I don't know what type of bread it is. It's like a flatbread. It's not flatbread. It's the panini bread, whatever that's called.
Oh, ciabatta?
Thank you, ciabatta bread. So it's on ciabatta bread. But I didn't know that you could have a ham melt where there's ham in it with cheddar and mozzarella melted and mayonnaise. Have you ever tried putting that much creaminess in a single sandwich?
No, but it sounds delicious.
It was, except my stomach an hour later told me I should have not done it.
Oh.
Because it's too much for me now. It's too much dairy.
Yeah.
Because I've told you about the heart attack sandwich. I used to eat that.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I still get mozzarella and like light mayonnaise or ranch on my subs, even though Ireland's telling me I'm not actually eating bread. But the point is, for some reason that in itself just like hit the stomach, and it's like it felt like a rock. You know when you have like that boulder and it's stuck in the side of your stomach?
I've never had that happen.
You're so lucky. It's basically when something sits so heavily, it feels like you literally swallowed a bowling ball whole and it didn't digest. It just sits there. I had that, but it was like rolling around. Like it would like go from one side to the other. I'm like, I'm fairly certain I'm not pregnant. Also, I'm pretty certain that babies don't roll like that. So
that just sounds very gross.
Yeah, and I had to deal with it. It is. I can tell you right now. It's not necrotic appendix painful, but it sucks.
That reminds me of my special Gam grilled cheese. Have I ever told you the recipe for that one?
I feel like you have.
Okay, probably. So what I do, you know the mozzarella that they get like in a not in a ball, but like an
Yeah.
oblong shape.
Bocconcini.
Yeah, the ones like all sliced and shit.
Yeah, bocconcini.
Yeah, that. So what I do is I get 2 slices and I pop them on some buttered bread.
Mm-hmm.
And what I do is I salt and pepper it, throw in a little bit of oregano. And what I do with that is I throw another piece on top that is buttered and I put it in a pan and I throw a lid on it and then I let it cook. And then after it's browned on both sides, literally I cut it open and it's just melting everywhere and it's fucking delicious. God, I love grilled cheese.
It just literally sounds like you took an egg sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
You just replaced egg with cheese.
Yeah, basically. It's really good. It's like probably I think that's the only way I'll eat grilled cheese from now on.
Interesting.
Just on the same page, you did want to live past 50, right?
I mean, at this point, I don't really care.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, you've seen the news.
I've seen many news.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm just gonna go back to eating my Havarti.
Havarti. Hi, welcome to the ProGamma Razzcast.
Yep.
Episode 31. Cheese and its constituents. We are
featuring Havarti.
There we go. Oh.
What?
Huh?
What?
Gamma?
Featuring Havarti.
Yeah, but it's not gonna be
Featuring
featured for
Havarti.
long when you consume it. Stop eating the guest scammer.
I'm hungry, okay.
Oh no.
Remind
And
us when we get famous enough. When we get famous enough and we get to interview the M&M guys, you are not allowed to be there. You have to be locked in a box or have to have a muzzle on.
Locked in a box.
It's alright. I can be next to the one that has almonds in it.
No, but that might be the death of both of you.
That's fine. You know what? Speaking of nuts, I just realized I have a bunch of Halloween candy that I can eat now because they canceled Halloween where I'm at.
What do you mean they canceled Halloween? Like people aren't allowed to go trick or treating?
Nope, not in my city.
Oh, that's fair. How did they police that?
With police?
Yeah, probably police. Like police saying, "Hey, fucking go home, stupid ass kid."
Mm.
No, I mean, there's some cities around me doing it, but they have like the whole like a lot of people don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I guess they said just turn off your porch light, and that'll stop kids.
It usually does, yeah.
Yeah, it does for you. Whoa, I was about to say it has never once worked for me.
Really?
I run out of candy and I turn off the light, and they still fucking bang on the door.
Yeah, had that too. Not as much, but yeah.
Oh, a lot. Like almost all the time.
But my area is old and like retired, so there's not that many families around here anymore that go trick or treating anyways.
Oh yeah, all the kids in my neighborhood grew up already, so like they were all around my age, and now they're all either graduated at college and like out of here, or they're in college.
Are you saying that everyone that grew up with you aged slower than you? Or aged faster than you?
No, because I mean, like, there's some kids who are a few years older than me, a couple who were like a couple years younger than me, and like a few who were in my class. And we all just happened to grow up at the same time.
I hope so.
Damn.
And
Time passes for all.
I mean, yeah, but like, my point is that there aren't many kids in my neighborhood anymore.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, what the hell? We have like what 7-point-something billion people in the world. Where are they?
I don't know.
Hopefully,
but
staying
I'm
6
not
feet away from me.
True.
Oh, yep. Yep.
Be nice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Halloween is gonna feel weird with no trick or treaters, but sorry, I got free candy. Well, I didn't get free candy, but I paid for it. Halloween. I get to eat the candy guilt free, except for the sugar and the diabetes.
That's a pretty big guilt factor there, Gamma.
Canceling Halloween gave me type 3 diabetes.
Oh no.
I'm sorry, I love Reese's. I can't help myself.
Reese's are so good, though.
I know,
I
right?
can't eat them either. I
They're
can't
literally
eat them very well.
What?
Makes
What do
me
you-
sick. They make me sick.
How do they make you sick?
It's the peanut butter, probably. I don't know,
How-
man.
How does peanut butter make you sick? I'm curious.
It's
You got a
heavy,
sensitivity?
probably heavy and creamy. Yeah, I like every time I've gone in for food tests, I've literally come back to like, yeah, no, you're fine, but there's so many things that make me ill. I'm fairly certain it's just anything that's creamy, anything that's like heavy dairy or is super sugary or is like if I have too many chips all at once, my whole stomach just goes into a tizzy. Like not like a you're full, you need to go take a shit type of full. It's just like, oh my god, you're slightly dying.
You know how Reese's are made, right? Like
Is
the
it like
filling?
chicken McNuggets?
No, the filling is actually straight up just peanut butter
Yeah,
mixed with a fuck ton of powdered sugar.
that makes sense.
That's the only reason it's got that consistency.
Yeah, that's fair.
I learned this from my uncle who owns a chocolate factory. He was
You know
like,
Willy Wonka?
No, not Willy Wonka.
Oh.
But I am not lying. I actually do have an uncle who
No,
owns
I
a
know.
chocolate
That's
factory.
really cool. Mhm.
I went to visit once, and then I don't think I've seen him since.
Mm.
Well, not an great uncle.
Did he get lost in the chocolate river?
Probably.
Nice.
They're probably still
How's
looking
that
for him in there.
nice?
He's in a tube. I'm not saying he's dead.
Life in a tube doesn't sound very livable, if you ask me.
No, like a floating tube, like the one you lounge in when you go to an actual lazy river.
I don't think that's how it works. Nope.
You've never been to Wild Water Kingdom, then?
I've been to places that have lazy rivers, which, by the way, if you're fucking trying to walk around in the lazy river,
Yeah,
and you're getting mad at people for fucking being lazy and laying in the river, you can fuck right off.
that was me.
You can fuck right off.
I was swimming in the lazy river.
Oh man.
Because I'm a bad swimmer, but I liked how it like pushed me. So I'm like, yay, I'm going. We were making a game. My sister and I would like swim underneath people and like around them and see how far we could go before we met with our parents.
Oh, you guys were the assholes.
We're the-
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
There was like a bunch of kids doing it too. Like it was wide enough you could technically do it. The best one was when people created like a blockade with a bunch of tubes, where it's like a bunch of these kids, they were basically linked in arms and they were grabbing the two sides of a bridge. So like people were trying to get through and everyone was just like, it's the most passive traffic jam ever where everyone's just bumping into each other. They're yelling at the kids like, please let us go, because they're not upset because they're relaxed. They're like, please let us go. And the kids are like, no. So people are like swimming underneath them, but you just have this giant pile of like 20 or 30 tubes. And the lifeguards had to come in with like poles and like push them apart.
Oh
It
my
was so good.
goodness.
Because I remember us seeing it, they got stuck. And because, you know, like sometimes in those lazy rivers, people just naturally pile up, right? Because some people aren't as buoyant as others. So they're all piling up. So my sister and I would be like, yeah, we paid for this tube. Here, mom, catch. And we just throw it at her and we just swim, right? So we'd actually be like carrying each other's tubes just to swim around it. We try and swim around and then get back to our tube sort of deal. So, you know, it was, yeah. Sorry, Gamma.
Was it? What? Happy Leif Erikson Day.
What does that mean?
Durgen.
I don't get it. What is Leif Erikson?
He's the guy who found America before Columbus did.
Oh, he's not a part of making SpongeBob. Okay.
No, SpongeBob just referenced it, which was really, really like off for a cartoon like that, and that's why everybody got like kind of attached themselves to it because it was so weird.
I see.
But yeah, he was a Viking who
Actually founded America.
Which is actually the whole fucking premise of Vinland Saga, an anime / manga that's been going on. Well, the manga's been going on for a long time. It's about Vikings, and the main character is Leif Erikson's friend, and turns into a really vicious Viking, and then he runs into Leif Erikson again. He's like, bro, stop that. And he's like, oh shit, you right. Let's go find America. You're welcome. I just explained Vinland Saga for all y'all.
Interesting.
Thank you, sir.
I saved you at least 100 chapters of reading. Enjoy.
I mean, thank you. I just typed in Lazy Erickson instead of Lazy River for my
I'm
notes
concerned.
today. For
You tried.
my
You
notes.
tried.
Look, Lazy and Leaf are there, okay? It's hard.
The Leif Erikson River that brought him to America.
He was just in a tube floating in like, oh, that place looks nice. I wonder if they have a hot dog stand.
That's my new nickname for the Atlantic Ocean, the Leif Erikson River.
It's a big
Oh,
river.
that's okay.
It's too
He
big.
floated on an inner tube by accident.
The ocean
That's
is
what
my
it's
river.
That's deep.
Oh, man.
It's like the stupid England is my city shit.
Good.
England is my city?
I've never heard that before.
What? It's from its everyday, bro. Not that you want to remember that exists, but
Maybe that's why I forgot about it.
yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know anything you've just mentioned.
You have no idea.
You're better off.
Good.
Oh,
Okay.
I was gonna send in the podcast chat, but okay.
I mean, you can share it. I'm sure Noob
Oh,
could
no.
use some kind of thing to ruin his day.
Oh no, I have tons of things to ruin my day, Gamma. You want to hear about it?
What?
You want to hear about my move yesterday?
Didn't you just say it? About how... What?
I didn't give you any details.
You went to Tim Hortons.
No, I didn't. I didn't even go to Tim Hortons. My aunt picked it up.
Oh, whatever, man. I'm just...
Woohoo!
Sorry, God.
God.
Mm.
What?
Whatever, do your thing, man. Tell me about your move and how shitty it was.
Okay. It was shitty. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Nice.
No. Okay. I have a question for you too, because here's the thing. Fun fact: I have never. This song.
Yeah.
I've never listened to it, but I know of its existence. And where's the delete button?
It's
No.
one of the very few videos I've actually gone out of my way to dislike.
Wow.
I feel that.
She moved her mouse just that much more to the right and clicked dislike.
The last
Yeah.
music video I disliked before this was Rebecca Black's Friday.
That
That was in like
years ago.
2014 or some shit. Whenever it came out, I forget.
I'm pretty sure I was in
2013?
high school when it came out.
I'm now deleting
way.
the south face of the earth. It never happened.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It
Okay.
doesn't exist.
Nope.
Let me see. Rebecca Black. This was 2012. Nope, that was
Okay,
Glee.
that's close.
That was Glee. 2011. Really? It was after my high school? No.
God.
Was it? How the heck did I get so popular when I was in university? Wow, I had trash friends. Okay. Anyways, yeah, so my move for my uncle. This is like his 17th time moving. And I didn't realize, and here's the thing, right? I knew this going in. This is my uncle. And my uncle is
Your uncle?
he's organized, but
Mhm.
he also he's very much a square peg in the circle guy.
Oh, so he's stubborn as fuck.
But he also will like eventually take out the whittling knife to make it a circle. You know what I mean?
So he's stubborn as fuck.
With a chance in the weather for him to do the right thing. Yes. So, this move, Gamma, Raz, because I've never moved before. Tell me, what is the process of packaging your stuff for moving?
Depends on how many times. But the first time was like, oh, we'll organize it nicely into a box, and then put that in a corner,
Okay.
and then wait for the truck to show up so we can throw them in. I think I moved 16 times altogether. So I kind of just throw stuff in boxes now and tape them up and kind of hope it doesn't break because I don't fucking care anymore.
Okay.
And then I throw it in the truck. That's it. And then I'm annoyed because I'm fucking exhausted and tired.
Do you do any type of Tetris play?
At the beginning, yeah. The first couple times we did Tetris. After that, we just threw shit in there.
Okay. Raz, is there anything different from what Gamma's described?
I mean, I've never had to move furniture before. Because like I've moved from an apartment to apartment and like from storage to an apartment and stuff like that. But like it's always been pre-furnished, so I'm just moving like all my pots and pans and plates and bedding and shit.
What the fuck? How do I get your deal?
I don't know, but now my Wii U's stuck in storage, so I don't know if it's a deal anymore.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's just because I had to when the pandemic happened, I had to fly back home. I didn't get to like drive all the way back home with all of my stuff. So it's just been sitting in storage and I'm just like, please, why? But I tend to organize all my stuff. If I have like things that are breakable, like monitors, I will pad them in the boxes with bedding and pillows and stuff just to make sure that screens don't break or anything. But I just try to pack as many things into boxes as I can. Like I'll put my boxes in my boxes in bigger boxes because that just I don't like having a bunch of stuff everywhere. That's basically it. Yeah.
Okay. So pretty consistent. Yeah, we had everything in boxes and it was labeled and stuff like this.
Mhm.
Just out of curiosity, did you take everything out of the shelves and the dressers and stuff like that when you move?
The first few times, yeah. After that, I didn't fucking care. But also,
I
it
hate
did
you.
make it heavier.
I hate you.
What?
Because it's exactly what my uncle did. And he didn't
took the
tell
stuff
us.
out?
No, he left everything in.
Why?
Yeah.
So, because he said, again, probably because he's moved so many times, but I don't know. He's just like, we didn't have enough boxes, so he just kept everything in the shelves. Now, here's the thing, though. My aunt is an interior decorator, so they have a lot of nice wooden furniture with a lot of glass tops, and what was a 60, 70, 80 wardrobe is now 105 pounds, and you might not know this, but do you know why people work up in weight training from 20 to 25? You might laugh and think, oh, what's the difference between 5 pounds? There's a lot of difference between 20 and 25 pounds. That's why a 7 and 8 pound exists between the 6 and the 9 pound weight. It's heavy.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking heavy. So he just taped up around all the shelves so they wouldn't slip.
No.
And basically, he lives in an apartment. He's moving out of an apartment because he's moving up to a house, like a new house, like 5 hours north. We didn't have to do that far. We just had to bring him to a storage unit, which also, it was the first time I ever got into a storage unit yesterday, which is kind of weird because I'm like, oh, it does look like the TV shows when people like pretend that they're living in a storage unit. I could live in a 10 by 10 space. Just saying, if they cleaned up the roof a little bit and didn't have all that crap, yeah.
Or even like a 5 by 10 is pretty big. Like you could fit a bed in there.
Yeah, I saw. We had a 10 by 10, and then he had to order a 5 by 10. That's part of the story. I'd probably need 10 by 10. I would like some room to exercise. But yeah, so not only that, but he had a lot of glass. So originally it was just supposed to be my sister and I. And my sister, she's strong, right? But I mean, her and I are pretty small and can only do so much. So my dad ended up coming because my aunt had to go fulfill a work order or something like that. She had to go help someone with a job. And so we showed up and we saw we had to lift. And I wish it was like they had done it with multiple waves, but whatever they had moved was like smaller stuff because they need help with the furniture. That included the king-size bed, like a couple of huge wooden dressers, glass tables, chairs which weren't too bad, but like one of those glass tables where like it's the circular top that you could take off. So like the thing is like my arm span, which might not look very big to a lot of people, but it's big for a table. And so we had to bring this from the 8th floor down the elevator to the back to get out of the building. Now, the problem is the stuff that we moved, we were trying to Tetris it. My dad has helped many people move before, and he's a very organized dude, and so is my uncle. But you know, I guess because of multiple movement fatigue, it just got to the point where things are going out of order. So not only did we have to move that goddamn king mattress 3 times, we ended up having to put a bunch of glass in places that it could easily shatter. And
Yeah.
so we're moving this stuff and we're trying to lift it. And for those who may have known me well enough, you know I've done upholstery of taking down couches, right? Like I know how to cut down couches.
No.
I've never heard this before.
How? What do you mean? I did it for like a year and a half.
What? When?
I used to go with my uncle to cut down couches.
When?
Like last year.
You've never brought this up to me.
I don't recall this
What?
ever. Yeah.
What?
Not
I used to
once.
talk about it. Like the house where the couch had like a spider's nest in it and like dead mice, and the other one where like I literally got hit. I had like 19 piercings from staples that I took out.
Nope, not once.
I don't know if you're trolling me or not. I can't tell.
I
I'm
don't
not.
remember this.
Okay, I used to do upholstery with my uncle, but not actual upholstery. I used to do cut downs, which is basically if your couch doesn't fit through the doorway, we take your couch, basically split it in half, and then reassemble it inside the house because it doesn't fit through doorways. Because rich people are, and admittedly, it is just rich people, are too stupid to just buy a smaller couch. They want their big ass couch in their tiny little loft.
And this is Uncle who puts square peg into circle hole.
No. This is Uncle who will literally say, how big is the hole, and make it perfectly fit. The man is pristine organization. This is other Uncle. I have many uncles.
Okay. I mean, yeah, sounds about right.
I used to do that. I learned how to, like, basically you cut it at a certain joint, and I know how to take off the fabric and where the staples are and stuff like that, and remove the studs and I mean, I never did the saw myself because I was too afraid to. And I'm like, you know what? He's getting paid like $600 for this. I'm not going to ruin the couch. And I learned how to pull out couches. By the way, if you have a pull out couch, you are an asshole because that shit is so dangerous to the point where one time the wire that we had to do to tie up the pull out couch didn't tie it up all the way. And it actually knocked my uncle and I off our asses.
Oh, God.
Jesus.
Because if you think about it, pull out couch with the spring, right? If it's not tied fully and you take off the bolts, the springs just go boing. So we did it, but this thing was so big. When we tried to tie it up, we actually slightly slipped. The thing hit me in the stomach and hit my uncle in the ribs. So that was fun. Yeah. But anyways, so either way, let's just say like this. The couch didn't fit through the door. So we had to literally finagle it so much to make it fit. We, for anyone who's listening, if you're moving into that apartment, the wood was all damaged before we moved out. But yeah, it was really big, and I have no idea how my sister and I were going to do this by ourselves. And like, I didn't know everything was in the drawers or was in the shelves. About 2 hours in, I blew out both my wrists, my knees, my back, and my neck. And that's primarily because I'm still not strong enough to do this because I thought it would be an easier move because I could lift boxes. But when it came to that stuff, I'm like, yeah, I'm still kind of like months on the mend from all of my, general years of weakness. Mm-hmm. So yeah, needless to say, and on top of that, try to bring stuff down and make it work. And the way they were giving instructions, I'm just like, when you say forward, I think going forward, not forward as in like tilting forward. And unfortunately, I am hard to explain instructions to when I can't see you and you're panicking when you're lifting a 70. Well, they're panicking when lifting a 70-pound couch or whatever. Uh-huh. And they're just like, no, go like this. I'm like, I don't understand you. Or they're telling me to push stuff and I can't reach. Like, let's say, yeah, just go in the corner there, noob, and just try and push the couch. I'm like, I'm not paper thin. I can't do that. Or like help my dad. I'm like, you want me to like crawl between his legs and lift up from underneath? Like I can't get in there. Like you want me to do things I can't reach. Because I guess they think like, because his son is like 6'2", so he can reach over and do anything. I'm 5'4". I don't reach over my dad. I can't reach over anything. So yeah. And then moving into the storage unit was basically the point where I couldn't even pull anything. The only thing I could do was like push the dollies, and even that was painful. And I was exhausted, and it's wow. I don't want to. So luckily for me, I think I made a deal with my girlfriend a long time ago. I think we're only getting one good wooden, like solid wood, like oak table, and we're getting no glass. fuck glass. Glass is the stupidest fucking thing to ever fucking move with. Just fuck glass. Literally, just buy IKEA and remember how to take it apart, please. God.
I'll
like-
stick with compressed cardboard. Thank you very much.
Whatever. Yeah, just buy cheap shit. Like nobody's gonna come over to my house except my sister apparently, and probably my girlfriend's sister, and is gonna look at like, man, that is a really nice end table by your bed. I don't give a flying fuck. If it can't move with me lifting it with 2 hands, I'm not buying it. No, I want whatever Raz is doing, where she's like literally telling people to leave the furniture and just move into that. I'll be okay with that.
It's because it's a pre-furnished apartment.
I'm okay with that. I'll take that. I'll take 7.
Okay, they're money bags. Jeez.
Well, okay. The other thing is, my uncle didn't want movers because they're $6,000, and I'm like,
Well,
oh
yeah, I get that.
COVID. But I'm like, next time I will fund $1,000 into that $6,000, so I don't have to do that again. Oh my god.
We only actually had movers like 2 or 3 out of the 16 times we moved.
I mean,
It
like,
was horrible.
I can see how, like, I'm also a type of person where, because I was thinking about it, I'm going, how would I have done this? I'd probably spend a week moving, right? Like, I'd probably move like bits and pieces out here and there until you get down to the essentials, just do all the essentials in one day. Because I don't mind, as much as I say I hate breaking things up into multiple days. If it comes to something that big, and like right now where like yesterday I could barely like close my hands to make a fist, I wouldn't mind going like, okay, after work, let's just take an hour or 2, shove this down to storage, head home, right? Like I would be okay with that if it had to happen that way. Yeah, it would suck and I'd probably talk big right now until I have to do it. But when push comes to shove, I want to be able to push and shove. So I'd probably tank the time loss and just do that. This was all in one day and we did it in like 5 or 6 hours. Because it wasn't a lot, it was a lot, right? I don't know how to explain it. It's like, it's not a lot, but everything was big. Like no small lifting. It was all big. So it's just, the worst part is they probably need us next week. And I'm like, I can't do it. I'm damaged. Like I'm fucking damaged. I can't help. Like I would. It's just,
it's a lot.
Have the physical strength. I don't. I need a month off before everything heals. That's with physio. I gotta call my physiotherapist after this. Damn.
Boy.
Ugh. But
yeah, no. Moving sucks.
Moving sucks. I always heard the stories, but I also think, like, looking at my dad, I asked him, like, is this how moving usually goes? He goes, God, no. I'm like, okay.
No, it is. It is. Don't let him lie to you.
Gamma, moving doesn't go like that when you put everything in the shelves into boxes and you just lift it. I would rather walk up and down or go up and down an elevator 10 or 15 extra times carrying boxes than lift that one heavy-ass dresser with everything in it. And on top of that, we would draw out a plan for because here was the other thing. This is the other thing that was terrible. The truck that we got was an 8x14. The storage unit he bought was a 10x10. So not everything fit in there. He had to buy an extra unit to fit the remainder of the stuff. But the thing was, we were trying to fit things into the truck, but because we weren't getting the furniture in order to fit stuff in, we were like running out of space and a lot of glass was exposed and rolling all over the place and stuff like this. We're just like, usually I would imagine, like I can imagine my girlfriend literally drawing out a blueprint. I appreciate that. Like I will stack to the T to make sure that everything fits properly. And I'm not like sitting there holding something going, hey, where are we putting this? I'm like, please let me put it down.
Damn.
Yeah.
Moving sucks. Never gonna happen.
I'm going to have Raz buy me pre-furnished apartments. I'd be okay with that.
Why me? Why am I in charge of that?
Because apparently you know connections. I've never heard of that before. So that doesn't
mean,
there's a lot of those.
It was people. It was yes, it was people. We had housing communities around my campus that weren't affiliated directly with my school, but you know, they came with free pre-furnished apartments, and you could get a pre-furnished apartment from them.
Like, do you pay for it to be pre-furnished?
Yeah.
Like, it's an option, or is it always just pre-furnished?
It's just always there.
Oh, okay. So, like, can you do renovations to it on your own expense? Not at all?
No.
Interesting. So what about maintenance though? Is that on the building to maintain? Like if you start having a hole in your wall type of thing?
Yeah, you just call them and they
So
take
it's
care of it
landlord.
for you.
Okay. Never mind. I've seen those before then.
Yeah, you tell them what's wrong, and then they take a month to fucking show up. And they're like,
Yeah, I was
"Oh,
gonna say,
we needed to talk to the other guy," and then I call the other guy, and they're like, "No, that was the right guy," and then I'm like, "What the fuck?" And then they're like, "Oh yeah, that is me."
Ugh,
My apartment was fun.
the worst. That sucks, man.
Well, actually, I did have an option to have it pre-furnished, like for an extra $100 or something a month.
Oh, interesting.
Probably should have done that.
It's crazy. Oh my god! Like apartments where they're not pre-furnished, like so there were like the housing communities that were pre-furnished. Then there are the others that weren't. That had like they weren't necessarily for just the students. Like there are some people who had just graduated who were still in there.
I got you.
And so they weren't pre-furnished or anything. And there seemed to be a lot more problems with them. Like those were the apartments where people were shoving like 9 to 10 people in a tiny space. And it was kind of a lot.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. I never lived in one of those, but it sounded horrible. And it was kind of terrifying to see whenever people are moving out that you would just see all of the dumpsters just like lined up with furniture
Ooh.
because no one people either couldn't or didn't want to take their furniture back with them. And it was just like, wow, there are these perfectly good couches and shelves and everything that people are literally just throwing away because they either don't have the means of taking them with them or they don't want to. And it's kind of ridiculous.
I feel that. I got mine unfurnished, and my furniture is expensive. I gotta say, my apartment for the longest time, we had hand-me-down furniture we got from our parents, and one thing we had was we didn't have a coffee table, but I had gotten a new mattress in a box that was like a really big rectangle. So that ended up becoming my deluxe coffee table.
Nice.
And nobody respected my furniture. People were stabbing my box, and then one night my friend Calvin, who was my roommate, got really mad at Destiny because he was playing Iron Banner back when the game first came out. And I didn't have a coffee table anymore.
Oh.
Yep, that it super got stomped in.
That's awful.
And I told him he needs to give me a new coffee table, and then he did, and then I was sad.
Did you destroy him in his sleep?
No, but I was very salty about it, to the point where I'm bringing it up today.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Oh, I thought you were actually going to bring it up to the guy today.
I know, I talk to Calvin once in a while. I haven't talked to him in a few, because he's been busy, so have I. But it was a fun time. Dude, I had so many people living in my apartment, like kind of living in my apartment, where they'd show up and stay for a few days just randomly. I'm like, yeah, all right, whatever, it's fine.
I remember those days with my ex, where her roommate would just like randomly have her boyfriend over. It was the most awkward thing because they would never be in the room when we were there, and then whenever we were out of the room, they would be in the room, and we're just like, "Do I go in?" And she goes, "I mean, I don't even want to go in."
Man, they're lucky. I had a one-bedroom apartment we shared with a living room that was kind of big. And there was there's a wall all the way up till like just a little bit before the ceiling. So I could hear anything going on in the living room, and my friend lived in the living room. And he had just gotten a girlfriend at that point. I'm just gonna leave that there. I ended up staying at my parents' a couple nights.
Oh God! What are they doing?
What the fuck do you think that? Oh.
Okay, look, Gamma. Let's remember, just because you have a partner doesn't mean they fucking.
It does when I can. Love you, Calvin.
Oh my God! I guessed.
What? Yeah. What the
I was
fuck
just
do you mean?
I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, which friend could he be talking? He's not thinking about that friend, is he? I didn't want to say it out loud. I'm like, all right.
That's all right. He don't care. He knows. I fucked. I fucking.
He knows I fucked you. Yeah.
Oh man.
Sometimes I would just make louder noises.
You know, I've actually considered doing that. Like that one night. Did I tell you about that New Year's?
Maybe.
No.
Where my friend was like at New Year's, I woke up because I don't sleep at New Year's very well. Like I went down for an hour and then I woke up and my friend was like teaching his girlfriend how to do the mouth stuff.
Oh.
And literally
Oh.
my friend, he comes upstairs and he has this face like he fucking saw a ghost. And so I woke up and I saw him like, "Hey, what's going on, man?" And he goes, I don't think that guy remembered I was sleeping downstairs."
Oh,
because we
no.
didn't have enough room, so we were sleeping. I was like sleeping on the floor, or I was supposed to sleep on the floor. One of my friends like sleeping in the living room or the dining room, and the most of us sleeping in the living room. And then my friend who was hosting the party slept in his room. But I think what ended up happening was my friend got too tired for whatever reason. He went to go sleep in the back, but he slept in a place where it was dark in the basement with like one of those changing screens up.
Yeah, I know
So
what you're talking about.
yeah, basically he was in like a nice little cubby, and I think that friend ended up just sleeping downstairs with his girlfriend. So like it just, I guess he didn't know, but somehow this guy made it up the stairs around them to get upstairs. And he was literally pale in the face, and we just started dying of laughter. We all went to breakfast the next day. They were like we were all tired because he couldn't sleep. I didn't sleep. And I think that was the night where I had like 19 shots and I was feeling very alcohol poisoned. And like I felt like shit. He was just in a shitty situation. Everyone else was just grinning. And my friend there with his girlfriend just sitting there like super happy and eating, and they're just kind of looking at us. And of course, my friends, being the snarky, sarcastic motherfuckers that they are, they were just making so many innuendos and so many sideline jokes. And they're just looking at each other going, what happened? What's going on? And we never told them. I think he found out later because I think the guy that was sleeping downstairs told him, because something about, I think it came up where he was basically saying that like he always respects privacy with these other people's places. Like, I heard you fucking blowing over there when I was sleeping in the basement.
Oh my god, man. Shit's wild.
Oh dear, dude.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I don't even like talking about this with my friends. I'm just like, as long as there's no details, those stories are hilarious to me. Especially when the hypocrisy goes like, I respect the space. You know that like that dank keck emote on Better Twitch TV? There's like some meme where it's like a hand up with a megaphone with dank keck's face. He's just going, I solemnly swear I respect space. It's just like in the most sarcastic and dumbass way. That's what I imagine every time. I swear I respect everyone's space. Says the man teaching his girlfriend in back.
Yeah. You know what?
What?
I can't believe this shit. A fucking fish figured out a glitch in Pokemon.
What?
A fish ran into a glitch on Pokemon Emerald. I posted in the podcast chat. So remember Twitch Plays Pokemon?
Oh god. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently somebody made a thing a while back called Fish Plays Pokemon.
Oh yeah, Fish Plays Pokemon.
Yeah. So the fish ran into a glitch apparently.
What?
Yeah. If you I posted the Twitter
Oh, what
post here.
the?
Okay. For some reason, yeah.
That's not good.
Wait, whoa.
Second boulder emerged from the first boulder.
What? What did he do?
He
being
just pushed a boulder.
Yeah, but
all he did was push the boulder.
What? No, he did right.
It is a Japanese version of Pokemon, so
Okay.
it probably has the glitch fixed in the American version.
Wait, what the? What?
But still, yeah, it's like, okay. So he's pushing around boulders, and then eventually one of the boulders, it pushes, but it also doesn't despawn from the block it was in. So now it's stuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not like it discovered a game-breaking like speedrun strat. It's just literally now officially boned.
Now it has to leave and come back, but it's also a fish. It's also a fucking fish. So it's not it. That fish isn't gonna have a good time. I feel bad for the fish.
I know the fish will never understand the pure fun that we have as Pokemon players. Sorry, I can't say that seriously.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh man.
What is life anymore?
What is life?
Yeah.
Do you want me to seriously answer that?
I want an answer that puts us in the direction of things we're going to talk about.
Puts us in a direction. Yes.
Netflix is raising its prices.
Cool.
Oh.
Yeah.
In everywhere? Or?
I don't know. They just talk about in Canada. They're raising it by $1, and once again, everybody's crying because they have to spend an extra 100 cents. That's 20 nickels. It's 10 dimes.
Yeah, but that's like nothing to Americans.
It's like $12 a year.
I pay $12
a year. No, we play. I'm sorry. What?
I pay $15. I have 4 screens.
Do you pay for premium?
Yeah.
Okay, so our prices are the same. I was about to say, our premium is like $18. If you're paying normal Netflix $50, like, oh my god, they're ripping you off. Woo.
Yeah, we get 4K and 4 screens.
Yeah, okay.
We don't use cable, so it was worth the swap.
Yeah, we only have what's it called? We only have the basic one where you can only watch one at a time because I don't watch Netflix. Usually my parents are watching Netflix at a different time for my sister.
I gotcha.
Yeah, they're raising it.
Netflix.
You watched a Netflix?
I watched a Netflix movie the other day.
Which one?
The Hubie Halloween, the Adam Sandler movie
that
everybody's kind of going off. It's an okay movie. I'd like to point out that I'm one of those people that actually enjoys Adam Sandler films. I know a lot of people don't. I just think they're stupid and funny, and I get my ha-has from it. But it was alright. It was a dumb little thing about some guy who's really into Halloween, and he's got a thermos that's like Inspector Gadgets for some reason. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's dumb, but I liked it. Man, Steve Buscemi's getting older and older, but he doesn't like change. He's always looked fucking old and on crack. Which is why I love him. You know who that is, right?
Nope.
You don't know who Steve Buscemi is?
Looking it up.
He's you'll know him when you see him.
Oh, this guy. Oh god.
Yeah, he's never looked young, from what I can tell.
Nope. He's got that face.
I feel kind of bad. Like, never really looking young.
Yeah, but looks are a thing.
I guess.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. Basically, all I know is like the Adam Sandler films, it's always like the same few guys. It's always Steve Buscemi. It's always fucking Kevin James. It's always Rob Schneider. You get a hint of David Spade and Chris Rock every once in a while. You know? I like those movies. They're fun and stupid. Anybody who gets upset about them is dumb.
It's like people get upset over Jim Carrey movies. Like the literal point is they're dumb as hell, but he does it his
Which
way.
is why I love Jim Carrey.
Yep.
Bam. Easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
Bzz,
Easy peasy.
bzz, bzz.
Easy peasy. But yeah, you know what I realized?
What?
I haven't listened to the radio in a long time because I don't drive as much anymore. You know what I realized?
Yeah, what?
This brought back the Twitch ads thing for me. Do you realize how many goddamn ads are on the radio?
A lot.
Like, I'm pretty sure I listened to 10 minutes of music before listening to 10 minutes of ads.
No, yeah, that sounds about right.
And people complain about Twitch.
Yeah, but nobody uses the radio anymore.
That's a blatant lie, according to
No, it's not. People use their media devices to listen to their own music now. Spotify's a thing.
Okay, but there's still more people over 30 than under 30.
A lot of people over 30 use it. People have Bluetooth in their car now. Fuck it. Sirius is a thing that people pay for. Don't get ads on that.
Did I ever talk about when my family was driving home from Las Vegas, and my dad really likes listening to the radio while driving, so like he doesn't start hallucinating or some shit on the road on like long road trips.
What? I'm sorry, wait, what?
Because like the monotony of driving, I guess, can like throw you off and just make you start seeing shit or something.
Yeah.
I've never had that issue before.
I mean, it has to be like you have to be on like a long
like 12 hours.
Okay,
yeah.
I've been
like,
on.
It was like a
longer.
8 to 12 hour drive, but so my dad really wanted to listen to the radio, and the only thing that was on when we were up in the mountains was country music, and I was just like,
nice.
no, if you like country music, I mean, I don't have a problem with that, but also when it's the only thing, when it's not your genre of choice and it's the only thing you have to listen to for like 5 hours straight, it's awful, and it's like the worst thing ever.
I mean, it's that in general for me.
And I'm just like, please no, I don't want this. I really don't want this.
My girl's
so sorry.
It was not a fun time.
I'm so sorry.
What do you mean?
It was not a fun time. It wasn't fun. I didn't like it.
I will never understand country, but I won't blame people who like it.
I mean, like my girlfriend, just she's got a really wide range. She goes from like country to nightcore. Like it's a big range. But like the stuff that I listen to, they always sound the same to me. But you could say a lot about like rock. So I've backed off on the bashing country. Some of it's good. The only one I can't do is like bluegrass, like the really old and sound like the old sounding country songs. New modern country's okay. Yeah, like a like I cannot, because I remember I listened to that while working on a farm, and that's like what Raz was describing. Where it's just like when all you hear is radio about politics and bluegrass, and you're working on the stables, like fixing the fences around the stables, that makes you lose reality because you have no idea what you're doing anymore. That's your life. So, yeah, that was a wild ride.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like country. I'll listen to anything else. Literally anything. I'm begging you, stop playing country, please. No.
I can't, but no.
Sorry. But yeah. Oh god, did we have notes from the last couple weeks? I swear we had some about stuff we wanted to talk about.
Did I write anything down?
Remember?
Possibly, maybe.
We did talk about the ninja grandma, right? The noob wanted to talk about at
The
some point.
assassin grandma? I
Yeah,
feel
that.
like it was alluded to and never actually talked about.
Is that the case? I don't remember. Been 31 episodes and I can't remember any of them. Is that a bad thing?
I mean, they all kind of blend together at some point.
I was there for all of them, but I don't remember any of them. I'm a
Mhm.
mess. Wow.
It's October, which means September is over. September is over.
Great. Thanks for waking me up. Because the song, and then wait, September ended, and then
We're almost done with the year, guys.
Yeah,
What?
I can't wait for 2021 to kick me in the asshole.
In the asshole, not in the ass. In the
Yeah.
asshole.
It's got to get worse before it gets better, Rez.
Oh man.
That's the only way I can see it happening. But we'll all make it through.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But yeah. God, there was a couple things that happened this week.
Yeah.
Most of them things I don't really want to talk about on the podcast just because it's
Yeah.
super political.
I mean, yeah, we literally had a political debate.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was like, I'm not gonna watch it because I feel like political debates are usually just people being kindergartners, flinging shit at each other. So
Oh, yeah.
I don't watch them because it's like it feels pointless to me.
You know what? The best way to explain it is, you know, when you're on like the playground and you're doing like superhero fights or some shit, and you're like, I use my laser beams to blow your face off, and it's like, but I use my ice powers to make a shield, and then shoot out icicles at you. It's literally just that. They're like, no, but you though. No, you though.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah. All I can say is that flies are drawn to shit. People will
Mhm.
understand.
Mhm.
Oh, we talking about the election?
No, we're
The
talking
debate
about
the
that just
debate?
happened.
yeah.
Well, I guess there was one. Was it last week that was the presidential one? This week was the
Vice
vice
president.
presidential one.
Yeah.
Oh, really was back to back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but all I remember seeing about the Pence versus Harris one was the fly on Pence's head.
That's the only thing people got.
And then I saw a video that was just like a fly literally dancing on his head. He's like, that fly's just vibing up there. This 3D modeled fly just dancing.
God. Man. Fucking. You know what? Actually, a couple weeks ago, somebody posted a PNG of a fly in Noob's chat on Discord.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept accidentally opening Noob's Discord, and I kept seeing it, like, it got me like 5 different times, and I'm mad about that.
Oh man.
Because I have like these little, like, I have a fly every once in a while, it pops in my room, and it pisses me off, and I can't catch it. I'm just waiting until I like accidentally punch my fucking monitor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ugh. I'm a sucker. I don't know. Oh yeah, Noob, did you ever talk about Assassin Grandma?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Okay.
I forget things easily.
Because I thought you told a story and then you said that wasn't the assassin grandma story. It was another story. And I was like, okay. And so I kept it on the list and I was very confused.
I feel like I told that was just the grandma telling me to kill trolls in this giant house that had like a lot of stairs.
Yeah.
Like Assassin Grandma was basically my dream version of Impa.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Fucking apparently Impa's hot now. Or something like that.
No, she was animated.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean,
What, she was
granted,
Senran Kagurud?
No, well,
no, not that much. No.
Okay.
Like
She's just young now.
I'm gonna
Not
look this
young
up.
now. It's
Actually,
just what you look like 100 years ago before.
yeah. No, that I know
Before.
that's the case. Let's see. Impa. Oh. Oh yeah. Okay. So they made her. She's young because it's 100 years before. And then also they got the lady who is really old and is like a foot tall and looks like she's 5 as a person too now.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, the one who makes your Sheikah slate like more jacked up and stuff like that.
I got you. I'll probably buy Hyrule Age of Calamity when it's $5 on sale.
When it's $5.
I mean, have you seen my friend
Mhm.
bought fucking Fire Emblem Heroes or whatever the fucking Warriors game is for like $10 at Best
Really?
Buy. Yeah.
Oh shoot.
Nice.
Yeah. So they go down in price. I don't know why, but they always do. So I don't mind waiting a while.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Well, all right. You know what? Should we hit the heavy hitter of that
You
thing that
mean-
I didn't read?
About radio ads?
What?
Mm.
You know, let me just pull up Twitch's support or see what Twitch is putting out.
you want to see the next greatest
What's the next big?
Let's see. The latest thing that they changed was they actually admitted that small raids of 5 or under have been cut out to like prevent spam raids.
Yeah, they changed that back because they're fucking babies.
Did they actually change it back?
Yeah, no, people
okay.
are mad about it, which I understand. If you're raiding somebody and you know they want to be able to give you your due, it don't matter what size the raid is. You're bringing people into the community, and that's cool. You should at least get a little like, hey, thanks.
I mean, yeah.
But it was because of bots raiding some sort of event, wasn't it? Or like,
well, it was. I think it was like. I think it was like spam raids and I think hate raids in bulk type of thing. Which if you have 2 people coming in that are gonna hate raid, like, oh boy, 2 ban clicks, that's pretty easy. Just saying. It doesn't make it legit or acceptable.
I mean, it does nothing for that because honestly, fucking any raid that's gonna be like a hate raid that's actually worrying is more than 5
exactly
people.
Yeah.
So I don't see the point. It's whatever though.
Like at first, before I thought the way Raz thought about or even Gamma, where you're like, appreciate every single raid. You still got messages that told you that you were getting the raid. So even if Twitch didn't show it, you could still say thank you for the raid. But at the same time, you have alerts for a reason, and you should be not excluding people for wanting to join your community and stuff like that. That's why because I'm also the type of person where it's like, if you don't get an alert, except if you go over 100 bits, I don't hate channels for that. Like, it's like, that's to prevent people from just spamming a single bit. That's why I think I have a limit to, I think you have to put in 5 bits to get an alert. Because I didn't want people dropping 1 bit nonstop. Like, I just put 5 because I'm like, who the hell is going to drop a conglomerate of 5 bits? I mean, you could do it. I'll just change it just for that day. But, yeah, I recognize it. I think 2 people, like there were 2 things that people were very upset at because I was reading into it. Now I just read into this stuff whenever it comes up because I'm just like, I'm legit curious to see how stupid it is so I could be pissed on the podcast. But there are 2 things. One, obviously short-sightedness of how that's supposed to help. And 2, why not tell us that you did that? Like, why is it yet again another change that's been done in the shadows? Like, they keep doing that and I don't understand. Like, are they afraid of telling us that they're making changes and they're just going to get backlash? Same thing with the mid-roll ads, right? Where they weren't letting it go through or they weren't telling everybody. It's like, yeah, by the way, beta test for it. And you're sitting there for 2-3 days going, why is Gamma right? You know, like it's.
How dare Gamma be right?
Well, it's Gamma. Sometimes you just sit there and go, "Is he actually right?" And then when you are, you're like, "I can respect that. He's right. Okay, good." Yeah.
Yeah, respect.
I mean, you can say the same thing about my entire existence. So there's that. But yeah. Twitch is pooping the bed, and then that employee article that came out, which is, sorry, I forgot to tell you guys. Did you bring your surprise faces today?
No.
No,
I ran out of those.
Yeah,
it's been a few weeks.
You know what? Honestly, it doesn't matter. This doesn't surprise anyone that Twitch is no different from any other big company or small company that has a business going on.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Gamma, just a TLDR for you and anyone listening.
No, give me a TL. Tell me.
TLVR, very long, too long,
Yeah.
very read. Yes.
Very
Give me a
read, much less.
TL. TM. Too long. 30 minutes.
That's good, man. I like that. I'll give you the BLT.
Okay, great.
With extra mayo and Havarti. Essentially, a female employee of Twitch. I don't remember what exactly position she had, but essentially, a female employee of Twitch came out. I think she left now, and she was basically sharing the stories of the start of Twitch before it was before it was acquired by Amazon, and basically the shitty misogynistic things and racist things that they were doing in the office. And that doesn't surprise me because I've heard that before, but what was really surprising was the fact that, and again, not surprising, I'm just saying surprising because it's supposed to be surprising, but it's not. Essentially what they were saying is they were doing really bad things that were marginalizing women, actually calling them like booby streamers and stuff like that in the office, and literally just being pigs. And then with the acquisition of Twitch through Amazon, that didn't really change. The only thing that happened was things became more professional, but they were kind of hoping, a lot of the employees were hoping that the professionalism would increase or improve the quality of working there, and it didn't. And what ended up happening was it became more and more obvious that the higher ups that were supposedly going to be investigated actually kept their jobs and kept moving up in Twitch. So basically it became a question of morality, which again doesn't surprise us with a lot of the decisions that have been made, especially in the past 6-7 months of Twitch now. There's always been discrimination against women, people of color, black people, and what else is there? Like there was, I think, was it? I can't remember. I think I fell asleep because I got car sick. But was there like something about suicide in there too? And like essentially PR and HR were never on the side of anyone that wasn't white and male, and it never has been, which has kind of been the kind of the message that's been received by a lot of people in the community, and can essentially be kind of like anyone can see it if they pay attention to Twitch well enough. So
the usual.
Well, that's the thing to me, right? It didn't surprise me at all that this came out. And I mean, obviously her story should anger people, right? As it always will, because that's just shitty. And no one likes hearing that for whatever reason a group is being marginalized, right? But it actually kind of reminded me of the reason why I had a hard time like wanting to go further on with my karate, because the one thing about karate that reminds me of Twitch is basically if I train Gamma and Raz to be the same level of skill as me, all three of us can kick each other's asses equally. Like, Gamma's bigger, and I'm bigger than Raz, but all three of us stand equal chance in a fight, right? because it's a mix of physical and mental aptitude. Twitch streaming is the same thing, right? Regardless of your quote unquote starting point and your background and your affiliations and all of that, you have the same starting point, and you could take your skills and take it far. And the one thing that I remember being in karate, I could tell you so many stories of issues with dumbass karate masters towards female instructors, female students, and stuff like that. Nothing illegal that I'll mention. There was illegal stuff, but like it just reminds me of when I would look at the higher ups and I go, you'd think that it would just be the people upcoming who'd be bringing in the trash. It's like, no, the trash comes from the trash pile, and that trash pile happened to be, trained by the master. That happens to be trash as well. So, like, if anyone looks at Twitch and doesn't see it as another company that does this, that's very optimistic of you, but it's not surprising in the slightest that Twitch would not be different in this way. We expect different, but we also expect a lot different from a lot of other companies too that we don't get. So,
yeah,
not legitimizing it, but most certainly it is not a surprising thing in the least. It is a very sad article to read, because it's like you can clearly read, and this is not biased because it's a woman telling it, right? Like you can clearly tell from the writing that there is a sense of despair and a sense of sadness, right? As there should be, because it is disgusting to hear that this didn't even just remain with the original group of Justin TV who, started it and could have these backgrounds that make them terrible. It's like it's continued through into a professional business that people who stream on it are looking to be better and to change the way that people do business, right? So it's pretty crappy to read. It's a very crappy read. Or sorry, not crappy. It's very crappy to read, and it's a very crappy thing to have to once again take in and like listen to how it's perpetuated. So,
yeah, you know what? I refer to my earlier statement last week. Be nice to everybody and treat people equally and fairly. Don't let your fucking disposition of how you see somebody change how you treat them. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
You do that, you're a shitty person.
I mean, sometimes people I'll tell you a story. And this story is kind of like it's nothing bad, but I don't blame the kid, right? So when we used to do in-house tournaments at karate, because again, this reminds me exactly like karate. When we used to do in-house tournaments in karate, anyone under the age of 18, it would be free game for sparring matches that we would place, right? So guys and girls could basically spar each other. After 18, because there are very stark physical differences on average, we split it up into male and female divisions, right? That is, to be fair, like we don't want this 6'3" guy kicking over a 5'9" woman, right? Like that's just not fair from a normal standpoint. So unless you signed up for, I don't think we ever had one that signed up for something like that. But either way, anyways, there was like this. I think he was 9 or 10, and he was sparring a girl. She was older than him. She was, I believe, 12. And it's just point sparring, so no chance to like grapple or hurt anybody. It's just hit the padding or hit the places like the chest or the kidney or the head or something like that. Get a point. So the kid goes down 0-2, and I was reffing the match. Or no, I wasn't reffing the match, but I was watching it from the side, and I could see in my karate master's face, he's looking, he's kind of suspicious because the dude, like this little guy, he's not doing anything, right? Like his hands are down, it's really sloppy form, and from my understanding, this kid was actually one of our better kid sparrers, and he seemed like he wasn't trying against her. So after she gets the second point, and she was not a good sparrer, right? Like I'll say it flat, right? She was not skilled, right? He should handily be kicking her ass because she was leaving a lot of weak spots open. She was like the fact that this guy was just touted as like one of the well, we don't talk about like favorites or stuff like that, but you could tell by when he sparred in classes and you watch him in the classes and then you watch her, it's like, no, he has the aggression to win it, right? But she doesn't. But usually aggression wins in point sparring, especially when you're a younger kid, right? Not everyone's going to have that, gusto to go in against their opponents and be that aggressive to get the points. So he's just going to win generally by default because he has that. That's just the reality of the kids, right? So he turned this kid around because basically when you have to talk to someone in karate, you have them kneel and face the other way from their opponent. Or sorry, you have the opponent kneel away, and it gives respect and personal space. So I could hear because the room went silent because everyone jumped in, like Karate Master just interrupted the match. What's going on? She's winning, right? And you could hear him whispering, goes, "Stop pulling your punches. You are throwing it because you are a guy fighting a girl." And the moment I heard this, like I knew my Karate Master was a good guy. Not all the time, but for kids, he tried to put up a good value and thing. And it hit me there, and I'm like, holy shit, I didn't even consider that. Like, I just took it as passively, like, he was having a bad day. It's like, no, he was literally letting her win because he was fighting a girl. And he didn't know any better, right? But afterwards, the father was talking to the karate master. And I think she ended up... Did he win after that? I can't remember if he came back and won. No, I think he lost anyways. He got a point off her, though. He did actually get a point off her. And then I think he swung too hard and he got a penalty. But either way, he basically... I saw the father and him talking after. And the father kind of had this face on. And I was trying to, like, listen in because I'm extremely nosy and I apologize. But...
I feel that.
Basically, he was talking, and you could see him and from like the little bits that I could hear, he was basically telling the master, like, why did you interrupt him? Like, he didn't want to fight a girl in the tournament. And basically, my karate master told him, in real life, he's gonna have to fight whoever attacks him. I don't care if it's a man or a woman attacking him. He needs to be able to defend himself. I don't want him taking it easy when it's gonna cost him his life. And I'm like, fuck yeah, this is the message we should be sending to kids. Like, are you kidding me? Like, the father is expecting that he's only going to get attacked by men and he should take it easy on women even in a fight? Like, what the fuck? And I feel bad for the kid because he doesn't know any different, right? He's 10. He's learning from his father, who's basically telling him that women cannot be threats. And that's what it reminds me, like, that double standard of, it's a bros can fight as hard as they do, because when I went to the official tournaments, the Canadian Karate Kung Fu Association tournaments, right? When you watched the women and men's division, right? The kids one you couldn't tell. Sometimes, yes, but that was just like, you had it shitty. And then like there was that one, oh my God, that one little girl. She was like 13, not little, but like there's that one girl where she was like punching the absolute shit out of any male fighter she was going up against. She got like 3 fucking penalties too. We almost had to disqualify her. No, actually we did disqualify her. We did, because she like literally hit a guy in the goddamn forehead. Like, there's no facial contact allowed in point sparring. She literally like straight punched right through the guy's forehead. And anyone else that she sparred, when she sparred another woman, like she took it way easier. She was literally beating up because she was taught to be more aggressive against men. But she literally took it as I'm going to beat the shit out of them. And she made it very clear when she got pissed at the male referee. Right? The female referee came over. She calmed down. The male referee, she turned like a feral cat. It was very obvious something was going on over there. But nonetheless, when you watch the male division, and when I participated, and the reason why I quit, is it literally became the biggest display of a cockfight ever. Like watching teachers, get him, like it was ruthless and everything like that. But when the instructors were watching the female, all right, let's keep it clean, methodical, get the good hits. And it's like, that's how the sparring is supposed to go. Why are we encouraging the guys to beat the shit out of each other when we're telling women to fight cleanly when both are supposed to be fighting cleanly anyways? Right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's partially the reason why I stopped sparring as well. I'm like, literally, there's this discrepancy in... I mean, if anything, it's more hyper-masculinity than being, like, aggressive against women. But it was like the message and... the treatment towards female instructors, and from what I heard, and like, just a bunch of bad things going on with students and all this stuff that you can, unfortunately expect happening in any sport. But, the fact that I remember seeing these stories and even hearing about, like, I didn't know there was a rule in my school when I was teaching that I could not be alone with a student after hours because my liability is not protected. And what ended up happening was this family was notorious for the parents being like an hour and a half late after class, nonstop. So I got stuck there because my coworker, he had to go to a tutoring session. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll just wait with her. She's like 13 or whatever. I was 22 at the time, probably, something like that. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll just wait for her parents to show up or whatever. So I had cleaning to do anyway. So I'm just like cleaning, talking with her while we're waiting for her parents and stuff like this. And our class ended at like 3:45 and they didn't show up till like 4:45. So I got paid for as long as I stayed at the place because my karate master trusted me that I would tap out when I was finished cleaning. So by the time I finished cleaning, it was like 5:30. And he saw me put that time in. So he pulled me aside the next week and he goes, "Hey, noob, why did you clock out at 5:30? Like, what were you doing?" And I said, "Oh, yeah, student there, her parents didn't show up until like 4:45. I had to wait, and then I had to keep cleaning because I had to like watch the door and stuff like this." And I wasn't good. He's like, "You cannot do that." And I go, "Why? What happened? What did I do something wrong?" He goes, "Well, you're not protected liably because if something happens to the student after the school hours, you're basically like in legal trouble." I go, "Okay." So I asked my coworker, what prompted this? Turns out he was kind of involved in it, where he was, what ended up happening was he was in a similar situation before I even started teaching. So this was like years before me, when he was my instructor, basically, because I became his coworker afterwards. From student to teacher, it's cute. But essentially, like, he had like a 15-year-old girl that got left behind. Like, the parents forgot that she had class or whatever. And I can't remember if it was like they tried to lay allegations against him or something like that. But basically, she went to her parents and told them that she felt extremely uncomfortable with her and him in the dojo alone. And nothing happened, but she was like drawing like she was trying to basically get him in trouble, for whatever reason, right? Now, unfortunately, this guy is a bit kooky and has had issues in the past with, like, socially, he was a bit weird. Like, I'm weird, right? We can all admit that. I'm kind of weird sometimes when I talk, but not in a creepy way. Can we agree on that, please? Or is this actually like I should worry about me being creepy? I need validation.
Well, it's not a matter of being like creepy. It's also like just a general feel of unease, you know? Like, I don't think it has anything to do with specifically with the person. Sometimes. I don't know.
I mean, he most certainly he came off as kind of weird to some people, right? And it was primarily, it wasn't, yeah. So, like, people knew me as just kooky weird. He was creepy weird. And so I can only assume that she took that way. I'm not saying it's not valid or anything like that, but I didn't know that's what had started the allegation. That's when I kind of started paying more attention to this whole, institutional thing, going, well, what the hell is setting this up into the institution? And then I started finding out that, there was an issue with like one of the masters, his wife, who's like 20 years younger than him. She's legal of age, but like she was 20 years younger with him, and they started dating when he was her teacher and stuff like that. And that's generally a no-no for most people who know of teachers and stuff like that, because that is kind of creepy, of all things. Because then, special privileges, and it's just, it gives off a bad vibe, right? Like, especially if it's something of that age gap, but that's a completely different topic I don't want to get into. So, regardless, it just reminds me of Twitch, where it's like these double standards with the fighting, but also just, it doesn't matter to me, no matter how big the company is. It just kind of gives me that, like, this doesn't surprise me, and it shouldn't surprise anybody, right? From policies and from everything being made else, and like, oh yeah, Amazon will make it better. No, that's never the case. When have we ever heard a company being, I mean, maybe there are cases, but I can't think off the top of my head a case where a company being acquired by another company improves the morale even when they say it's going to. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sure there are examples. I've rarely, you'd rarely see it represented anyways, whether it's being talked about or not, right? But I don't know. The article was just like, yeah, okay. Unfortunately, same story, same shittiness, and becomes sort of, it's crappy. It's just crappy, right?
Like I said, I usually just go to that earlier statement I made. I when it comes to this shit, like it's real and it's there and it's not cool.
Oh yeah.
So I just take that into mind and just focus, like lead as if. What's the best way to put this? I literally, it just generalizes and don't be shitty.
Yeah.
Respect people's boundaries and shit.
Oh my god, the same thing happened to refereeing now that I think about it, where I was reffing a women's game, like 1929 women's, what my sister used to play in. And I remember being accused of a guy taking it too easy on the women that were like hurting other women and slide tackling. I was just I just didn't make good calls all the time. I had bad days, right? So during this one particular one, they were just making like really like it looked like it didn't have to be aggressive, but I was kind of lax and sometimes over aggressive on plays like that. But like they're basically saying like, hey, look, we're women, but we can still hurt each other. I'm like, okay, but I'm not making the call because it doesn't look like like an offense to me. And then they end up complaining and they call me and they're like, are you taking it easy on them because they're women, they can't hurt each other? I'm like, no, I was more worried about the cheating going on than them beating each other up, because once they went aggressive, they all went aggressive. And once you have an aggressive game, generally speaking, unless you want me to hand out 12 yellow cards, which is usually not the greatest way to run a game, I'd rather just cancel it at that point. But yeah, it's just like, you could see male referees treating female players horribly. And of course, the biggest one to see is male players treating female refs horribly. And I fucking hated it. It was disgusting. I actually stepped into one because not like interfering with her, because she had to go through it and maintain authority. But afterwards, I went over. I'm like, it was like indoor soccer, and they were just being absolutely shitty. I went to the office and I asked her like, "Are you okay?" And then I went to the office. I'm like, "You need to get this fixed because it was such a piss poor small dick display of respect." And even like the coaches yelling at her, and I know these coaches well because I was in it for 6 years. I'm like, they would never yell like that at a male referee, or if they did, they would stop way quicker, right? Like they would ease off way faster than they would have on her. And it was disgusting to look at and hear and shit like that. Like that crap pisses me off.
It's always there.
Yep. And you want to deal with it. You want to call it out. And I mean, I did, especially in those positions, through the right channels, right? Because, I can't help it if, like I can only go off of, they're going to go, it's hearsay, right? Maybe that's your interpretation. I go, well, if there's an allegation of misogyny or racism or stuff like that, hearsay, maybe we should take it seriously sometimes. Like, it should be, if it's really that easy to identify if it's hearsay, why not just take that on every single time? It's not like we're talking about some pretty just moral rules here that people should be worrying about, not just it's a handball. No, we're talking about hey, that person used a pretty offensive word. You should explore it. It's not hearsay. Even if it was, I heard it wrong, you should probably explore it. Out of respect for trying to create a better culture. You know what I mean? Like, it's exhausting.
Yeah.
It's exhausting to watch. You want to change it. Unfortunately, sometimes you have to like watch the authority have to go through it because, you don't want to take the thunder away. You want to be there for them. That's why, especially with that one female ref where I was like, I'm there for you, but she has to still be in control. I can't take control away from her. That's her territory, and she needs to, unless something is getting really bad, like she needs to tank the brunt of it. And then we got to hope that the system and all the referees come together and comfort and try and, set better examples. Did that happen? No, but could you try? Yeah, some people did, but it wasn't enough. And this was even like not even full professional, right? We're just talking fucking casual, just casual house league. People getting yelled at for that, and just God, not that it should matter, but it does. It's bullshit.
Hey, what is life?
A miserable pile of assholes. I'm gonna use that every single time you say that. A miserable pile of something. It just feels like a good segue with stuff, you know. It's basically tying it all together with a nice little bow. Except the bow is social justice. Where did Raz go? I feel scared now. Hi.
Hi.
Did you fall asleep?
No, I've been here.
Oh, okay. You sound like early morning Wind Waker. That's why I asked.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I did wake up like a couple hours ago.
That's
so,
fair.
No.
That's fair.
I feel you.
Or less than 2 hours ago. Like, was it less than? No, it was a couple. Yeah. It's like 9:45-ish.
Nice.
But yeah, I just find it, as someone who literally embodies everything that some groups of people hate.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I am a woman of color, and not just a woman of color. I'm half Filipino, half black, right?
How
And then
dare
like
you?
it's really a whole other conversation I could get into is the fact that like some people will say I'm not black enough to be black.
They can shut the fuck up.
And it's like, okay, then am I just an abomination? Like, what do I exist on this planet? I don't know. But that's a whole other thing. But it's like, so as someone who is a minority wanting to get into the games industry, like whether it eventually be as like a developer of some sort or like as a content creator or anything like that, it's one of those things where it's just like, I guess I just have to brace myself for the worst, and then it's a situation where it's like, I guess it's just a bridge that I'll cross when I come to it, and it's kind of really shitty for it to feel that way. And I don't know, like reading this entire article, like I mean, like what Noob said was like, yeah, it's not surprising at all. Like this shit is literally everywhere, and it just feels really bad to be like, well, the people in charge are going to get rewarded for being assholes. So it's like, does my voice really matter? You know, can I really make a change at all? And like, is this something that I really just have to suck up and deal with the entire time? You know, like, it's this horrible situation where it's like, I want to enjoy my career, ideally, you know, and be in a space where I feel that I have creative freedom and can enjoy my job for what it is. But I don't know. Some people are just assholes, and just looking at me for some reason just makes other people think that they're better than me. Just completely fucked up.
Yeah. And it's gonna be there for a long time. I don't think it'll ever go away, but just the calling it out and making it known that it's not right is the best way to like combat it at this point.
And, like,
at least that's how I feel.
I really wish that there was some way, like some reliable way to get people who are just unwilling to, you know, accept people who are different than them to actually make a difference and to not be assholes and to actually use their power to not be assholes and to care for people who aren't them and are in disadvantaged positions.
No, I don't wanna. I'm a fucking bull-minded dumbass motherfucker. I ain't gonna listen to that. Fuck you. I don't need to listen to you. You don't mean nothing to me. Fuck.
Oh man.
Man, fucking.
No, go ahead, Game. Sorry.
No, I'm just mad.
Yeah. The way that I learned it, which is really funny because it makes my extended family hypocritical. The
Mhm.
way that I learned to get through these types of things, and I mean, I obviously cannot relate because I'm the exact. I can relate through empathy, but I cannot relate through experience, right?
Mhm.
Like I said, the experiences that I've had are accusations because I'm a white male and because I'm like a friendly guy. I've had those people who have had those really negative experiences and they've read things the wrong way. And obviously I reflect on it no matter what, but like I've had these accusations before where I was like making unwanted advances towards women and shit like this that teachers do have to deal with quite a bit, right? And it sucks, right? There are a ton of like, there's a huge story of one of the really nice, like one of the really productive teachers in a community who literally got busted because people hated him and it just cropped his face into a bar image and made him look like an absolute, jackass, and he lost his job, right? And it didn't even bat an eye because he's a white male. So they're like, well, that's an easy one, right? And it was bullshit because the guy was involved in community stuff and he had nothing against him that would make him, and many people that knew him said like he would never do this. And you can only believe a guy so much. And I do believe that it was just, hate put against him. But the way that I learned from my family, because a lot of people say you can't change this, you have to burn it down. And the way that it's always been taught to me, the way that we change the future is we literally change the future by educating the future, right? That's partially the reason why I became a teacher, is because if you want to get your voice out, podcasts are great, but so is being part of the education system and literally showing values that you want students of the future to emulate, right? Like, I don't care if they learn how to throw a basketball. I care that they learn how to become kind, caring individuals who think about these issues. And of course, there are many ways to approach it, but it would be nice to be able to say that these values will die with generations and will become weeded out, because I mean we've seen examples of it, right? The era of the 2000s where everybody was using gay as a like a quote unquote friendly term when it was offensive and stuff like this, and
It wasn't a friendly term.
well
It was like,
depending on who you asked.
I'm gonna follow the fucking Hillary Duff commercials here real quick. It's not cool. It's demeaning to people who have that, as a way they identify themselves.
Yes. Yes. But I'm saying there was that time when it was quote unquote socially acceptable and was very prominent in TV shows and media and stuff like this, right? Doesn't make it good because it was popular, but it was like there are these phases, and I'd like to believe we've gotten slightly better with certain things, but there's still a long way to go, obviously. But changing what becomes acceptable and trying to explain to people that, yeah, this might have been funny at one point, but that's because we had a lot of uneducated people following this and just being told that it's good. Like my grandparents, they were told that racism is good. They can't help that, right?
I
They've
don't know if they
learned
were
now.
told it was good.
Yes, they were.
Were they? What,
they were
it wasn't
told
just
to be
like this is how it is.
They were told. Well, they were told that's how it is, but they were also told like if we keep black people down, that way we make more money, right? Like, don't sell to black people. They don't have a lot of money. They won't buy our crops as much money. Like, they were taught that, right? Because they had to live too. And so what did their parents say? Well, most of the black people that they knew were poor. So don't sell to black people. So, I mean, they're trying to eat and they're listening to their parents. I can't fully blame them, especially when no one is telling them that that's wrong, right? Now we're vocal if they say something, and they've gotten a lot better, right? They're not perfect, but nobody is. But that's how it was treated sometimes. So, like, if education, the way that I understand education, if you educate, something is going to be good, and that gets rewarded, and everything else that is bad doesn't get rewarded, that's how you make a change, because we break a system from the inside, right? We could take down the big people at Twitch, but what are the odds of that actually happening unless everybody on the platform was on the page doing that, right? or somebody steps in and has the power to shut them down. That's why, actually, funnily enough, with Twitch Soundtrack, they were saying something similar, like with all the skirting of the rules, the only thing they take down is the government at this point, right? You need someone that big to take down Jeff Bezos and make him sweat to make that change, or whoever's the big guy at Twitch. Like, you need to make the big people sweat. It's just like superintendents, right? How do you change a teacher's behavior? You don't go to the teacher, you don't go to the principal, you go to the superintendent. They'll do anything. It's amazing how much you could do when you hit the top honcho. So, like, that's the thing, right? That's the tough part, is trying to find those systems. And it sucks. And you don't want to have to think, like, what's the best way that I can beat the system? At the same time, we can attack it the best way we can, or we can attack it from multiple angles, from lesser and bullshit reasons. But I mean, no one should ever have to feel that, you know, the system's going to work against me and therefore I should have that expectation. That's the shittiest part about all of this, right? Even if a system's broken, it's the fact that people go in with that expectation, and it sucks. And
I mean, it's basic the reality though. Like,
yeah,
that's
of
the
course.
thing.
That's the worst part about it, is it's something that is real, and it's something that does exist. It's not a horror story. It's literally people's daily lives, right? And that's bullshit. That should never restrict anybody from doing anything that they want to do. And at the same time, it shouldn't also make people feel, you know, lost and not want to fight it and not want to. I mean, but we could say, man, the fact you have to fight it sucks. It's like, well, we have to though, right? If you don't fight it, it's just going to exist. That's why I believe in the power of education. Believe in the, like, you know, maybe the old generations are gone, but the future generations can shut them down and go from there. Because, I mean, how did people my age learn to be racist? They were taught from their parents. How did they learn? Their parents. So now if I teach my kids to be racist, guess what? Doesn't matter that my great-grandparents are racist. It matters that my parents and I were racist. Actually, it doesn't even matter about parents. It matters that I was racist, right? So when people say it's a, what was this? I was explaining this to somebody where I was saying, like, where they say it's an old person thing. I'm like, no, that's a you thing, because you didn't shut them up. And now you're perpetuating it. It's not an old person thing. It's not a boomer generation thing. It's not it's anybody. It doesn't go generational. It goes by, you can eliminate it today. You can recognize history and then eliminate it, and then eliminate the perpetuation of the history today. Perpetuity. Whatever that word is. I say perpetuation. I think it's perpetuity. Yeah, that one. Yeah, okay. But it's like you can think about, hey, it's been here forever, or you can think about, yeah, it's been here, and today is where I shut it down. Because if you get hung up on it's existed forever, then it's like, good, recognize the history, and we can become better than that. We can learn from history as much as history repeats itself. Like, I don't know. I'm the type of person where it's like, I cleaned up my past a lot. Yeah, I'm not perfect. Yeah, sometimes I say things that I don't mean to say, or it's misunderstood because I didn't understand it correctly, and I want to improve upon that. But I'm not going to let 12 and 13-year-old me define everything that I've done. Some people will. I won't. But I'm going to try and change the generations in the future, because I don't want to waste my time on people who I've already had a tough enough time trying to influence and trying to change their minds about, right? Like, I want to work on fresher minds and teach them good values.
Yeah. No.
That's how I see it. Of course, I have that advantage as a teacher, also with privilege, to be able to say something like that and feel very confident about that. Other people, it's going to be way harder. And nonetheless, whatever angle it comes from, it's all an equal angle aiming for a good goal. That's how I see it. We're never going to go anywhere if we keep doing this.
No, yeah.
As humans, we're never going anywhere, man. Like, we're so fucked. Elon Musk cannot advance society by himself. He cannot. I mean, he can only do it by replacing us with robots, but that's a completely different topic.
Probably not the best person to single out. Nope.
I mean, I'm just thinking in terms of technological advancements. I know he's got like
specifically technological.
Yeah.
Sure.
No, not anywhere other way. No, I'm talking like technology, where people are like, yes, bring us, oh Overlord Tesla. Bring us to the future with your technology of turning my kitchen into a giant supercomputer.
No, yeah, basically, yeah, what you're saying and what I'm getting from it, and what I agree with, is that ignorance and stuff like that is taught and passed down.
100%.
You have to be the one that doesn't let that happen.
Of course. And everybody has to do it. I've heard, because this is the one that also came to mind. Like, a couple of my friends work in factories, and they're like, they hear literally bottom of the barrel, like, chum bucket bullshit. And they don't call it out because, like, I'm not going to change their minds, right? I'm going, you could, right? Same thing happens at construction sites, because my girlfriend's father works at a lot of construction sites. And, I mean, I have said before, like, he is a racist. Like, he is very, very much, unfortunately, traumatized and lives with his own demons. But the point being, like, this stuff gets perpetuated at his work. And, like, you could change it in these places where it could be like, it almost sounds like it's a free pass because you work in a factory, right? Where it's like, yeah, I work in a culture that, with a bunch of people who is just like, their culture is, yeah, they hate this. So, you know, what are you going to do about it? And I hate hearing that. I'm like, I would put my job on the line, I think, to protect that at this point. Maybe that's big talk for a guy who doesn't live with expenses, but, like, I've worked for people who are not the greatest thinkers when it comes to a lot of these things, but I will be vocal about it and make sure that people know. Like, that's the mentality everybody needs to have. You might not be changing person in charge, but you can change yourself to try and influence one other person.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's
some food for thought, people.
I don't know.
We've been getting really into this kind of stuff, which, I mean, I'm not apologizing for.
It's hard not
these
to.
Topics. At least with the air that everything going on right now. It's kind of just, it needs to be reiterated, I guess, because people don't think. They don't think. I don't know.
You know what the common two factors are, Gamma?
What?
Twitch, and probably near the end of the podcast.
I mean,
every time we've talked about this, it's come from Twitch. We haven't just brought it up out of nowhere. It's come from a topic about Twitch. So if Twitch actually does something positive that's of worth, not like, ooh, look at that, individual redemptions for channel points, whoopee. Like, if they actually make the limits, right? Which is a nice change. But, like, if they actually made something that was worth more than 30 seconds of my time, we probably wouldn't get into these conversations. I mean, they're good conversations to have no matter what, but...
Well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's anything wrong, Gamma, because we have nothing to apologize for. It's like the people who get yelled at for talking about their political stance on Twitter. No matter what their stance is, like, yeah, stick to your lane. Fuck that. Stick to your lane. Stick to keeping your ass in lane and stop telling us how to drive our car, the PGRC Buick. What would our car be if the PGRC was a vehicle?
It'd probably be 3 different cars shopped together like a fucking Frankenstein.
What? Why?
That's terrifying.
I would be the back end, and I would be part jalopy.
Okay, Gamma, give me, like, I'd definitely be like a Honda, because I'm, like, the most conservative car lover. Like, fuel efficient, easy to drive, that sort of thing. I don't know. What would I be? What car would you be, Raz?
I don't know.
In the PGRC?
I'm not really a car person.
Neither am I.
But, like, I do drive a PT Cruiser, and I think that's kind of fitting. It's kind of small and buggy.
I had one of those.
Yeah.
My dad loved PT Cruisers. No, they're terrible on safety, but my dad loves PT Cruisers.
My dad had one.
Yeah, my dad always wanted one.
It doesn't help that I turn too hard constantly.
Oh, wait, you know what?
Driving on the freeway with that thing is scary.
Oh, it's terrifying.
I'm just like, shit. Because you can feel the car wobbling, and it's awful. And I'm like, I don't ever want to drive on the freeway with that thing. It's awful.
I don't blame you. I want you to live, potentially, just, you know, turning at too close of an angle. I'm like, oh, now I'm slinky.
Yeah, you reminded me of something with my dad's PT Cruiser. This was back before I actually had, like, a car.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my friends were gonna go to an anime convention, and we decided, hey, we'll take the PT Cruiser. So we get in the PT Cruiser. It's like an hour and a half away.
Mhm.
About 40 minutes in, the car starts smoking. And it no longer is moving.
Oh.
So I pull it.
Okay.
I kind of veer it to the side of the highway,
Mhm.
and I had to wait. We had to wait like an hour for my dad to show up to drop us off at the convention with the
Yikes.
with the van. Oh man, that poor thing. It lasted a while. It was an interesting car. It was more comfortable than anything else I had driven at that point. They're good cars, except when they die on you in the middle of a highway on your way to an anime convention.
Yep. It's definitely me-sized, but also at high speeds, it's like, please no.
Yeah, no. Anything over 60 is. I don't know. I don't feel comfortable. Please no. Don't fall apart. But yeah, I guess Noob was right. At the end of the podcast, sort of.
Can we just
Kinda.
can we make the PGRC like a monster truck?
What?
Why?
Why not? It would be
Why?
on brand. That's exactly it. That's Gamma.
Is-
You asking
is it-
why is exactly on brand for us being a monster truck as a vehicle.
Is it on brand?
It's out there, weird. We have no idea what we're at. Well, we do know what we're talking about, but like we're bigger than life people. Yeah. Like a monster
What?
truck, get it? We're bigger than life
I-
people, man.
What?
Sure.
I feel like we're more of a Prius.
Hey. We have taste in
Efficient.
cars, okay?
Efficient, but also dopey.
As long as we're not a cube. Those things really
Little-
don't look good.
What a
Little
smart
toaster.
car.
What?
Wait, do you not know what a smart car is?
No, don't be a smart car. Those things are inefficient as shit.
It's not inefficient. It's just small, and if you get hit, you're dead.
No.
Mm.
No, we don't want to. When smart cars become better cars, I'll admit to being a smart car. I'm definitely a Honda. I'm pretty sure I'm a Honda. Maybe I'm just trying to think of the cars that I've driven.
This is PGRC.
A Honda?
Oh yeah.
Wait, what? Oh, you posted something. The signs scared me. I'm like, did I
Yeah.
just see?
No, you're good.
No, ew, not a Yaris. Ew.
Mhm.
That's not a Yaris. It's a smart car, you ding dong.
It looks like a Yaris, and my girlfriend's sister drives a Yaris, and that thing looks like I could bench press it. Which, you know what? I think I can actually push it myself and maybe lift it a bit. Maybe put it on my back. Just carry it. Because
How about this one?
No, at least
Yikes! No.
we have 4 inflated tires. I do like the look of that car though, if it was like shined up.
Okay, inflated tires.
Inflated tire. Don't give us Gamma. Why are you calling us a pile of garbage? I
Here
feel
we go,
very
this-
offended right now.
This one has inflated tires.
I looked and I saw the same picture. I'm like, what? Okay,
Oh,
but
you know what? I
Gamma-
realize what type of car I am. Hold on, I'll post it. I actually have a
we
picture
all
of it.
look good on the front, okay? Like just saying.
Speak for yourselves.
Gamma, you're gorgeous?
Hold on. Have I talked about this on the podcast before? The car that I ran into? Not like ran into, but like I was delivering and I saw it in the middle of the night in the most ghetto part of town.
Uh-huh.
I just gotta find it on my phone.
Like, how old are we talking? Like Sunbird 1952? Or
No, here's the picture. I don't even know what type of car it is.
What the?
But it's got anime waifu stickers on the side of it, and it's the most inappropriate place for this.
It is?
Oh boy.
Where it was located, yes. It was parked outside somebody's house in the most part of town where you keep your doors locked.
Anime titties don't care about where they exist, man. They just exist.
You know what? You're not wrong. I'm just saying, because like I would see this car all the time, but I've never seen it on the road, and I'm like, what?
Can you
See, after seeing multiple Konosuba cars and a Pikachu car in parking lots at my school, I am not surprised by this shit. And then I went to a Walmart once because I needed something. I forgot what it was for. And then I walked out and I was like, oh, look, another anime car. Wonderful. and I'm just like, it's just a thing now, and I just accept that it exists, and I just don't care anymore.
I assume there are laws that basically restrict you from like drawing naked people in your cars, right? Like I would have to assume there's got to be some kind of. So what if?
Decent exposure.
Okay, so what if it was just like, because in Toronto you are allowed to walk around topless, both men and women. Not that I would trust women would feel comfortable enough doing that, but they are allowed to. So like, if I had a topless lady painted onto my car, would that stick to the same rule? Because then wouldn't it be a double standard? Then if I had a topless woman in my car, but topless women were allowed to walk around in Toronto? How would that? Does art have different rules from humans? Does it?
Ask your local police station. So they
Excuse
can
me,
put you on the
constable,
list.
I need to ask you about titties. Yes, those ones.
Here's the car where we are. It's that car from the Little Rascals movie.
Oh my god! I haven't watched the movie in so long.
That movie was great. I watched the shit out of that movie. It was great.
Never watched The Little Rascals.
You should watch it. It was a good movie for kids. Oh wait a minute, you're not a kid. I guess you won't like it then. Still,
I like The Goonies as an adult. I only watched The Goonies as an adult. Now recording.
Apparently, Craig doesn't think that we need to end the podcast, but we might as well do it before he decides to leave again. This shit's been happening too much.
Usually Gamma leaves when I say something he offends. Now apparently I offended Craig. That's bottom of the barrel offension. Offension. Yes.
The worst part about this is when Craig leaves, I have 2 separate audio files that I'm gonna have to set up together, and it's very annoying.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it.
Can confirm Gamma really hates when it happens. We're here after like post-production, and in the studio that Gamma's in, holy cow, like tapes flying everywhere, and like confetti cannons are going off, and I'm pretty sure like his maid just like runs because she's afraid that he's gonna whip another ham sandwich at the wall. Like it's really, really wild in Gamma's studio.
It's kind of weird. I recognize where the anime chick's from.
Oh man,
that never happens.
Wait, where the what?
The anime chick on the car.
Oh, isn't it like the one where they turn in where they're battleships or whatever?
From Kantai Collection.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know her name.
I'm sorry, they transform into ships?
Something like that. They're based off of ships.
Google Wikipedia. Hi.
Kantai.
The central theme of the game is a representation of World War II, where ships personified as teenage girls and young adult women.
Sounds about right.
So it's that.
Take a look at Musashi though.
Who?
Musashi.
Musashi.
She's loaded. Damn. That's Battle Cruiser if I ever see it.
Kantai.
I just posted a picture.
This is getting okay.
No, I'm lazy. Jesus Christ, no.
Oh, yep.
Dude, that's Battle Cruiser. That's cool. I love the Battle Cruiser.
Uh-huh.
Okay. How accurate? I wonder how. Usually, these, as weird as these anime shows are, they're usually pretty accurate with what they're supposed to like represent, right?
Probably not.
No, I think some of them are.
Well, you know what? While you're doing that, Raz, where can people find you?
Oh, these are anti-air guns on her. Cool.
Oh my god.
I mean, that's usually what's on a battleship.
I'm RazzberryBlitz. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, soon TM. I'm gonna keep saying that.
Give me the nips.
Oh my god.
At RazzberryBlitz, I have like 2 video ideas I want to do. One of them is being pushed to priority because I need to get that done before it's not relevant anymore.
I know if you need help.
Will do. Thanks, Gamma.
Probably. Don't have much time, but if I can, I will help.
Thank you. But yeah, find me on those platforms. I need to still save my VODs from the Wind Waker rando stuff that Noob and I did before they disappear forever.
Yeah,
but you know, I'm gonna do that. Yeah. That's my stuff.
She's not a ship. She's just a girl with a tie. The hell? I'm looking for ships here.
They're personified, noob.
She's eating. But she doesn't have any guns on her. She's literally just in a suit.
Why you gotta leave her alone?
What boats need binoculars?
A lot of them. It's hard to see shit, noob.
That's why you get the actual like periscope, or what the heck it's called.
That's. If you guys want to check me out, I'm AmaGamma. You can find me on Twitch or Twitter, AmaGamma. I'll do something eventually. I keep saying this. Has been 31 episodes of me saying this. Sure. We'll see. Nope.
Okay, Hibika's just sitting in a boat. She's not even a boat. This is a lie. If you want to question how World War II ships should actually be represented in anime form, come over at twitch.tv/ProPokeNoob, where we talk about things that are not my friend getting stuck in the basement in that precarious situation. And you can find me on Twitter and YouTube at ProPokeNoob. And you can also find me on Fiverr if you'd like to learn about public speaking skills that can help you share your story of your friend getting stuck in the basement in that precarious situation. Look for the name Andrew Simonetta, and you can go from there. Extra Life is going on.
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
We have our next event next Saturday, the 17th, with Link. We're doing Emerald Battleships and Gamma. Before we go, I'm going to put you under pressure again. That's just my job.
I'll tell you about that after.
About the game show?
Oh wait, never mind.
Is that a
I thought you
yes?
were talking about something else. Oh
No.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I'm putting you in.
I told you I'll make the time.
Well, you also said that about August 30th, and you were nervous, and also about about Broken's Animal Crossing. You're like,
it's November, right?
Yes, November 8th.
Yeah, I should be fine.
Okay, I'm glad one person said they're free.
I mean, I need to figure that out.
I mean, you didn't have to say that it was you, Raz, but thanks. Now you threw yourself under the bus.
I mean, you were hinting at it.
I was.
So you know.
Sounds like
I was. Yeah.
I feel you, Rez. I need to get my life together too.
You guys have a life? How do I get one?
I'm gonna be making a rhythm game soon, so I don't know what's gonna happen to me.
I'll make you a deal.
You
make the rhythm game. I'll test it. I'll get you to play my Survivor Horror Tactics game. You test
Sounds
it.
good.
Nice, because that's coming along. Hey, Gamma, you want to be a naked guy?
Like I'm not already a naked guy.
Your pitch. Oh God, Gamma.
I don't know. I'm tired, man. I've been. I think this week I've had a total of maybe 20 hours of sleep.
Oh God,
that's awful.
Hey, wait, maybe same with that sleep deprived thing that happened. Maybe the same.
Yeah, well, that's a different story. You had to be up. I was up because I was doing homework, and I'm still up because I'm doing homework.
Gamma's no pants
School's
policy
hard.
become no body policies.
No body? Wait, no body?
What?
He is now ethereal. Ooh.
I'm confused.
I'm tired apparently because I can't speak words.
I guess not.
And Gamma's naked. Let's just keep that in mind. Let's focus on the fact that Gamma's naked. That way, anything that comes after this cannot incriminate anybody.
What?
I don't know. End the podcast, please.
Get
us out of here.
No, I'm gonna end the podcast when I feel good and ready.
They're not battleships.
What?
They need guns to be battleships.
They're not. No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
They can have sub missile thingies.
They don't have sub. She literally has a skirt and a tie on. There are no guns, therefore not a gunboat, and therefore not a World War II representation.
It doesn't mean they can't shoot out missiles.
Oh, I think.
I